Team Support. Kasama po dyan si Lakay Jun TV. Yan. Asan yung phone ko? Pag-usapan po natin ngayon, ang particular po sa Kaguluhan. May nakita po ako isang vlogger na nagsambit. Myla Dugilio, hello, sweetheart. Jakitan man ang MC for you. Oh, thank you sa roses at mga bulaklak. Sweet naman, Burn Simple Life. Congrats po sa inyo. Ayan, congrats na sa inyo mga nakagraduate, nag-monetize. So, follow lang po kayo sa akin at sundan nyo lang po ang aking mga tawag dito, ang aking mga grupo at ito ay tutulong sa inyong lahat. OFW Joyce Tamsak host, thank you po. Kayla Kiro TV, galing ako kanina kay Lakay, di man lang nanalo. Kayla Kiro. Tingnan ko nga, ilan na bang subscription mo? Dahil lang Okay. Mag-inbox ka sa akin. Ano, ilang subscribers mo? Baka matulungan kita. At siguro nang pumunta ka, hindi mo sinabi galing ka kay MC, no? Sabihin mo kasi, galing ka kay MC team. OFW Joyce, love, love, love. At Burn Simple Life, always here. Thank you po. Zoila Atienza, have a blessed day, madam. Likewise po, sir. Next, Mendoza, mega love shout out. Pangalawang, congratulations ulit sa iyo. Si Nining Itski, sinundan mo kasi a day before na pina 1K ka namin, si Nining Itski napa 1K namin at nag-monetize, completely monetize po yan. Ayan. So, nag-antay na lang po siya ng PIN number niya. Yan. Baby pa lang po ako kay Lakiro TV. O, sige. Tingnan natin kung ilan ang subscribers niyo po. Okay? Sandok daw, galing ako doon. Next window sa kagagaling ko lang po. Salamat sa inyong support kay Bunso Lakay. Partner ko po yan. Nobi Solano, pa-jacket po. My love, MC. Nobi Solano, hindi muna ako magja-jacket kayo. Short video lang ito. At ang sa mga tawag nito, kung gustong lahat po mag-subscribe po, paki-subscribe po ninyo bawat isa sa inyo dito. Simple lang po, hindi na kailangan ng jacket dito. Just press the name of that person at idiretso kayo sa channel nila. Ganun lang po yan. Oo nga, next Mendoza, nakita kita sandok nga na panalunan. Ayan, Commander Chorba. Mega love shot out kay Commander Chorba. Yan. I love you, Bish. Hoy, si Ingrata de Ortiz yan, Bish, I love you too. Ayan. Marami po tayong pag-uusapan, no? Myla Dugilio, Madam Alin, pampalamig yan. Para sa iyo, thank you. Short mo lang MC, doon support tayo kay Jewel Salcido. Yes, nabanggit ko na po yung support ko sa kanya kanina. Commander Churp, nasaan na yung jacket ni Casey dito? Siyempre, yung aking mahal yan. May jacket yan. Lani Carmelotis, Tamsak CC, thank you po, sweetheart. At Ana Kalya, official mega shout out daw kay Commander Sword. Jewel Salcido, Bulaga din, ayan. Yung una kong video ay patungkol po yan sa iyo, Jewel Salcido, in defense for you, no? Sa iyo yan. Jewel, yan. Shout out po kay Jewel Salcido. Expire na po ang membership ko. Ay, kaya pala. Ay, to. Ayan. Sige. Wala pong mag-alisa ng mga jacket dito kasi nakaranas po kaming lahat ng mga YouTuber dito na may mga inalisa ng jacket. Siguro ewan ko kung ano nangyayari, no? Una sa lahat po, may nakita po tayong, wala po tayong pangalanan dito at wala tayong pangalanan grupo. Okay. May nakita po akong napakasikat na YouTuber na bilong sa isang grupo. At nabanggit po niya kanina, ang kaguluhan daw, dito sa grupo na to at kaguluhan sa kabilang panig. So, dito naman, thank you, Myla Dugilio, sweetheart. Dito naman po, ang mababanggit ko dyan, bilang isang membro ng grupo na yan, kung napapansin ninyo na nagkaroon ng kaguluhan, makinig po kayo ha, bilong sa grupo niyan na nag-LS kanina. Kung napapansin ninyo na may kaguluhan pala, dapat noon pang panahon na yan, sinopil ninyo ang ugali ng bawat miyembro ninyo. Okay? Sinopil ninyo. Kasi kayo mismo ay gusto ng katahimikan, di po ba? O, yan. Sarili nyo, pinuno nyo, sinasambit yan. Kahit na magpastor-pastoran pa yan, wala akong pinangalanan dito. Mag-Bible-Biblean pa yan. Okay? The fact of the matter is, if you are a sure and a good leader, you should know how to suppress your people in a way, regardless what the other party is saying against your group, that your very member should be compressed, should be disciplined, should be told. Di po ba? Should be told. Don't expect the other party to suppress. Contain your own people first. Because if you are going to say, nagkagaluhan po dito sa grupo, balikan dito, balikan dyan, how do you contain that? You're a leader, isn't it? You're a leader, right? Hindi muna po ako magbabasa. Ipapatuloy ko lang po ang aking reaction dito, no? So, if you are a good leader, number one, make sure that you have a proper group, people that follows the very objective of your policies. Okay? And if you see that your own very group are not establishing peacefulness, and yet they're out there and creating havoc, well, that's on you being a leader. What you see in your group is what you are. Meaning po, makinig po ang leader na grupo na yan. Mga leader, ha? Mga leader. What you see in your group po is what you are. In other words, it's either na kinukonsente ninyo, pinababayaan yung very principles ninyo, or you just do not care. And then when it is completely out of proportion, now you are talking that how these people are completely out of control, and how do you control that according to your video. I just finished watching your video. Okay. Surely you have been, sir, surely you had been there in YouTube media since 2011. Surely you've been ahead of the very founder of your group, even on Facebook. That you should know better on every behavior of each member and people and every personality of the member that come across your way. You should know how to manage them. You are well educated as a person and you know who you are. Okay po? So now, sabihin mo nagkaguluhan, gulo. Bakit nga naman nagkakagulo? Because of your lack of discipline. Hindi kayo marunong magdisiplina ng mga tao ninyo po. Okay? Even let's per se that the other side is at fault. But should your group or member, 1 or 2, 3 members of your group, should you allow them to rebuttal? To say something nasty? To just defame other party and think they're above you? Because if these people acting up based upon their actions and words, that means you have let them go. In other words, you let them step all over you as a leader, as a senior of this group. Okay po. And being a trusty person below your founder, should you or shouldn't you even be discussing this personally with the very founder and share this very information, what your group has been doing? Open communication, open door policy po ang tawag dyan. Ito tuturo ko po sa inyo, sir. If you are lack in management, if you are lack in people skills, then let me coach you how to properly manage a system, a group, in how it is going to be smoothly, properly run and manage them very well. If they don't, there should be a zero tolerance po within your members. But yet again, you prove to a lot of people po, sir, na taga-Saudi ha, sir, taga-Saudi ka, nakatira ka sa Bicol. Okay. I'm not talking about who you are. You know who you are. Let me explain to you about people management. There should not be any troubles or hearsay or fight between the other group if you can know how to contain your own individuals. When I said own individuals, because it's not really, when I said own individuals, in other words, it is not completely plural. It's not completely plural. Okay, plural. Kasi pag plural po ang pag-usapan natin, that means it's a whole thing. It's not completely plural. That means some of your people, but more than one. Okay? Who has been adversely violating your very rules and adjectives on what you are supposed to establish within your group organization. Should I tell you more or should I teach you more how to manage people and how to run a better organization to evade this kind of issues, kaguluhan, among each other and among other group and among the other parties? Diba? So listen. Point number 1, kaguluhan. Start in your own turf. You must start in your own turf, in your own backyard. Contain your people. Suppress them from speaking. Suppress them from being disrespectful to others. Suppress them for being what? Cocky, obnoxious, and think they are untouchable. The reason they think and act and behave that way, that they are untouchable, is because of you. It comes from you. This is your own very fault that you have created such a mess. And now you are complaining how this is going to be solved. Oy, sir. Sir, ha? Sir. Okay. Kaguluhan. The only solution I've seen para matigil ang kaguluhan na yan is that you have to stand up and speak. In your group, you don't have to worry about the other party because no matter what, when your group is contained, no matter how much fire they will start among other to the other party, is not going to ignite. Why? Because there is nothing to go back to ignite it. So, okay? Kaguluhan, nag-umpisa po sa inyong backyard. Kaguluhan, nag-umpisa po yan sa paghaka-haka, paghahambog, makipagribatal, nang hindi naman po lahat po 100% tumpak ang lahat ng mga sinasalita. It is why I came here. Para po maturuan ng mga leksyon at konting pag-aaral po sa karamihang mga miyembro ninyo na hindi po mataas ang antas ang pag-iisip at pag-unawa po. Bali po doon sa mga finances, patakaran, pamumuno, how to manage and guide your people. If you cannot guide your people, ask someone among your group to help you coach them just like children. Discipline them. You created a group. You have to be responsible for it. So don't blame the other party because of your group is having problems and issues, and now the other group is fighting. Don't worry about the other group because the other group has their own ways of containing it. Don't think that all of your group are all educated people. Hindi po. Hindi po. Lahat ng grupo mo, bawat isang miyembro mo po ay educated na tao na marunong pong umintindi, that they have the capability in understanding every procedures, every word, every ways, and objections, and every essence of your goals. No, they don't understand that. Likewise, sir, sa kabilang dako naman, hindi po lahat po educated. But we are all trying to educate ourselves or educate each other and helping each other so that they can understand in the way they know how. We label with them and we make them understand. And this is what you need to do, and this is what how much you can do. But if these people are going to do that, then you have every right to defend yourself. Yes, true. Yan po sa kaguluhan parte na yan. Sagutan naman. Di ba sagutan? Point number 2 tayo. Bakit mayroong sagutan? Because you allow it. The minute as a leader, if you are actually paying attention to each of your member po na nakipagsagutan, you know it very well. You're in social media since 2011. Okay? Ikaw ang pinakamalaking subscriber sa lahat ng membro mo. Maliban sa founder mo. And you know who you are. So, let's say you are a full-time worker. So do I. Diba, ha? But remember my words, sir. Don't give me an excuse that you do not have the time to monitor every one of your members, yung mga official mo, na nakipaglaban, nakipagsabunutan, nakipag-exchange ng word against the other party. Listen well. Don't give me an excuse because an excuse is not acceptable po. The reason why I say that, you have to master your time. If you tell me you don't have the time to monitor each of your member, well, you know what? Sucks to be you. Kasi po, time does not master you. You master the time. Time lang po yan. You have to master the time. Don't let the time master you. Don't let the time dictate your time on when and what you can do. That is why there is what you call time management. You manage your time. You make the time below you. Below you. We have 24 hours, di po ba? 24 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 24. Okay, 1 to 24. Above here is a 0. 0. Yan, 0. Ikaw, nandito po ikaw sa taas. 0 ka. Kasi 1, 2, 3, 4, 24 hours. You are above it. You are more than them or less of them. What do you do? You're above. You tell the time. Time number 1, this is what I need to do with your time. Utusan mo ang oras mo. Time number 2, ito what I need to do. Bukas po, time number 2, itong gagawin natin, sasubmit ka sa akin. Because I'm going to make you follow me. You have to manage your time. Time management po yan. You make the time, not the time makes you. Po, make the time to make sure that you manage your people. Pakipagsagutan, of course, you have every capability to talk to them, coach them, pick up the phone. Oy, senyora, bakit ka nagkaganyan? Explain to me. So let me help you understand. Okay. Ganyan kasi sir, nagkasala yung kabila, kaya nagsagutan kami. Okay, ano bang sinasabi sa kabila? Ano ba talaga ang punto? Dito po sa 3 million pesos na yan. Kay Gmail, ano ba talaga ang punto dyan? Ayan, gawin na natin itong halimbawa po. Okay. So, yung, sir, nagagalit talaga ako kasi yung 3 million na yan, dinidiscuss, sinusulot yan si Gmail, ganyan-ganyan. Example lang po, don't get offended, ha? Ako naman, si Mr. Sir, okay, senyora, saan ba tayo dito mag-umpisa? Nagalit ka, una sa lahat galit. So, yun ang binikas ni senyora, galit. So, when anger comes in place, all of the senses become suppressed. Tabunan na yan. Nawawala na ang iyong pangunawa dyan kasi galit ka na eh. Galit ka na. So, ngayon, ang gagawin mo bilang isang pinuno na mataas ang antas, ang edukasyon mo at matagal sa social media. Okay? Ikaw mag-silbing, tawag nito, example. Maupo ka muna, senyora, mag-usap tayo. Okay. So, nagalit ka na kaagad dito dahil sa 3 milyon na yan. Example lang to ha, makinig lang po. Ano ang pinagkaugatan dito? Sinulot kasi, bibigyan na ng 3 million itong si Gmail, nagagalit ako. O, nasaan yung 3 million? Dahil 3 million na yan, nasulot na. O, tingnan, pag-usapan natin, naintindihan mo ba ang 3 million na yan? Ganyan po, you have to ask question for you to understand the answer. Okay po? Okay, Mr. Sir. You have to, tuturuan ko po kayo ng people management. You got to learn how to ask a question for you to understand the answer. Hindi mo maintindihan ang answer kasi hindi ka nag-ask ng question eh, di ba? When did you take the time to ask a question to each and everyone na nakipag-sagutan? Okay. Ang lahat ng kaguluhan, it started po sa pinamunuan yan. Pinamunuan. Walang gulo kung ang namumuno po ay marunong magdisiplina, marunong makipag-open communication, marunong makipag-usap sa tao. Simple lang po yan. Okay. Sorry po, hindi po ako magbabasa dito. Simple lang po yan. Pasensya na po kayo ngayon, hindi po ako magbabasa, no? Bukas i-review ko po yung mga salita nyo. Nagkakaroon ng sagutan dahil po, while they were fighting other people to the other side, wala silang backup sa itaas na nagbibigay ng moral support, na nagbibigay ng advice, na nagbibigay ng understanding, na nagbibigay ng liwanag, clarification of statement. Ano ba talaga kinagalit mo dito? So, ito ba ay worth it na pag-aawayan sa kabilang dako? Bakit hindi na lang tayo mag-focus sa ating ginagawa, sa ating projected goals? Ba? Okay. Ay, hindi. Gusto kong makipagbanatan para lumaki ang views ko. Ako naman, si Sir, yun lang palang kailangan mong views. Marami naman tayo, million tayo sa isang grupo na to. Isang panawagan ko lang yan para suportahan ang isang video mo. Yun lang naman ang dapat natin gawin. Ganyan. Ganyan. Ang magiging supportive na pinuno o supervisor o senior po sa isang grupo. Million kayo. Bakit hindi nyo magawang suportahan, lumaki ang kanilang views na hindi na sila kailangan makipaglaban sa kabilang dako para maghanap na lang po ng content para po magkaroon sila ng views. Diba? Diba? Kinig lang po. Diyan po ang sagutan kung bakit bawat sagot ng kabilang dako, sasagutin nila. Kasi humahabol sila ng views for that matter. Ikaw kayo na sa pinuno kayo. 1, 2, 1, number 2. 1 million kayo. Kung marunong kayo ng people management at time management, ang payo ko lang po, one day, italaga nyo ito sa mga reactors ninyo na nakipagbangayan, nakipagsagutan, naghahanap ng kaguluhan. Okay? Okay, ikaw, dadak ka ng dadak dyan. Ano ba talaga? Kasi nasisira na ang imahe natin bilang isang grupo. O sige nga, 1 million tayong isang grupo. Ito isang panawagan lang ni number 1 at number 2. Ngayong araw na to, tignan natin, panoorin natin ang kanyang video, kahit anong video man gagawin niya. Okay? Kahit hindi man 1,000,000, kahit 30,000 lang po, napakalaki po 'yan, ambag po. Para po 'pag nakikita naman ng miyembro na 'to na sinusuportahan sa kanyang views, bakit pa siya makipag-away sa ibang dako diyan para kumuha siya ng malaking views? Reverse psychology lang po ang kailangan natin dito para po natin mai-assess ang ating mga tauhan, miyembro nating grupo. Ito, sana po magkaroon tayo ng konting aral dito sa aking sasabihin po 'no. So, naintindihan natin kung saan ang kaguluhan nag-umpisa, sagutan. Dahil itong mga tao na 'to na miyembro mismo ng grupo na 'yan, kailangan po ng support at pag-unawa bilang isang number 1, number 2 ang namumuno diyan. Hayaan mo ng number 3 kasi, parang walang utak, eh. Okey, walang utak yung number 3. Hindi po natin asahan yung number 3. Ang inaasahan ko dito yung taga Saudi, taga Bicol, at ang kanilang pinuno na mismong magsuporta ng kanilang tauhan para po hindi na po maghahabol ng away, kaguluhan, sagutan, maghahanap ng content para lumaki ang kanilang subscription at viewers. Kasi sila mismo is capable enough to support their own people and giving them sound advice, pagmamahal, pag-iintindi, and they feel valued. The most important thing in a member of a group is that you got to make your people feeling valued. Valued. Make them important. Make them feel that they matter. Okay? That they matter. Okay? Pahalagahan mo ang member mo. Kahit na busy ka man sa trabaho mo, but because you belong with that member, you got to acknowledge each individual, especially member of that group. And any of your officers that are lack in knowledge, who are actually out there marching to go fight and rebuttal every single being out there and every content that comes their way so that they can grab the opportunity of gaining viewers to make and earn money because that's what they are dependent on. You got to help them. Don't be selfish being a leader. You have to share your time. It is a devotion being a leader to share your time. You have to embrace that. Sabi ko, once you are a leader comes a big responsibility to be part of being a person that help them, promote them from within. Hindi let them be makipag-away sa ibang miyembro dyan sa labas nang hindi ka miyembro. Okay? At lahat ng mga umaalis because of lack of acknowledgements, lack of people management, lack of love, lack of time, lack of caring. Yan po ang nangyayari dyan sa grupo na yan. But when this all being established and applied to this very group, let me tell you this. Okay? it will be very successful for this group to rebuild again as a very good group of people who they are trying to be what? A charity group. Okay? You got to know you have to manage your people, love them, understand them, support them in every need possible so that they don't sway. Doon po kaguluhan sagutan because of lack of appreciation, lack of acknowledgement, lack of support. When you are given these people, you very member po ng suporta. 1 million kayo. Kahit 30,000 lang sa membro ninyo, suportahan ninyong bawat membro ninyo sa kanilang views, kay pangit man, kay maganda. Suportahan ninyo yan. Kasi 30,000 views niyan, malaking bagay po yan. Para po sa kanilang pang-araw-araw na kinikita. Kasi yung iba dyan, nakadepend po sa YouTube income yan. Okay? Don't tell me that the group nakipagkaguluhan laban sa kabilang dako, nakipagsagutan. Ay bakit? It's because of you. Sir, makinig kayong dalawang sir. Ha? It's because of you. Because of you. Your lack of acknowledgement, your lack of support to your own people. It is why your people had run and creating havoc to everyone outside that group. And what happened then? So many have left. Diba? If you have took care, now I'll come down to the very nitty and gritty part of it before I finish. Why people left? Because it is the same attitude. Attitude is everything. Okay po? Dito tayo papasok sa content. Sabi ni number 1. Number 1, sabi niya content pag nanakaw. Okay. Now, let me say something about the content. Una po sa lahat, you have established yourself to be a person in social media. And everyone being a public influencer, you allow everyone to have access to you. Personal life of you, and everything around you. That is part of the game being in social media. So whatever content that you have spoken of, they can use that against you. You just can't blame them that, oh, I content about this and that ni X, Y, and Z. Bakit nila binibikas doon sa kanilang LS about me containing X, Y, and Z? Why not? You are a public influencer. So every single person in the world po, pwede kayong ma-access at pwede kayong bigyan ng reaction. And that is legal. Okay? Wala pong law dyan na nag-prohibit po na huwag kayong i-content. Binibigay niyo sarili niyo, maging public influencer kayo. Therefore, everyone is accessible. They have access to content you and all about that you are talking about. Makinig lang po. Sabihin mo, pag gagamitin ang content mo, sabihin niyo po, pag nanakaw o no, hindi po. Okay? Maybe uploading, bakit hindi niyo dinimanda yung miyembro ninyo na nagnanakaw ng inyong sarili yung video. Tika, may hypocrisy ba dito? Meron tayong hypocrisy, di ba? So, meron tayong hypocrisy dito. So, ito nga, nagko-conflict of interest po tayo dito. So, you have to analyze all these things that you are going against your own word. Ayaw mo ibang tao mag-content sa iyo at mag-content mo, pero hinayaan mo ibang tao i-content, i-upload ang mga videos ninyo. So, it's okay for the own member at makipag-away sa ibang tao, pero hindi okay sa ibang member na hindi kasakop ng grupo mo. So, you have become a very biased person in the social media. Okay po. Ang pagnanakaw po, hindi po pagnanakaw ang paggawa ng content ng ginagawa mo. Kagaya ko, wala kayong maika-copyright sa akin. Okay? For example, let me say, kasi masyado akong old-fashioned na tao. Pag sinasabi ko na ganito ang ginagawa mo, may nasabi kang ganyan, bakit? Wala naman akong ina-upload na video sa inyo. Yes, nilalagay kong picture nyo from time to time. Is it against the law? No, hindi po. Bakit hindi against the law? The very fact of the reason is not against the law because you yourself portray yourself as a public access, as being a what? Influencer. So therefore, lahat po ng public influencer ay pwedeng ma-access ng lahat ng tao sa mundo. Pwede kang i-content. So kahit na anong i-content mo, pwede nilang gamitin yan laban sa iyo kasi binroadcast mo sa social media. Hindi porkit na bilong ka sa isang grupo, wala na kaming karapatan na panghimasukan kayo. Public, di po ba? Public. So when it says public, everyone is allowed to access you. Think. Okay? Huwag mong sabihin pagnanakaw, dahil ibig sabihin yan pagnanakaw, masama po yan. Ibig sabihin, so you're saying that pagnanakaw, pagko-content ng iyo, may sarili kang content, ganyan, maybe you, but not the rest of your member. So, in other words po, Mr. Number 1, ayaw mo yung ibang tao hindi bilong sa group mo, na i-content ka dahil content mo yan. At pag kinontent ka, sabihin mo pagnanakaw. Pero i-allow mo ang group mo na mag-content sa iyo sa mga sinasabi mo at hindi mo sabihin pagnanakaw yan. Teka muna. Di ba sabi ko bias ka Di ba? Bias ka. So, what difference does it make? Are the group of your own people are not people and the group of other people outside are not people? We're talking about being public influencer ka. So everyone has access and there is no law that nobody cannot continue content. Tama ba ako? Okay. Wala akong pakialam kung i-bus nyo ako dito until I'm just giving reaction. Nathan, cute. I love you. Nakita rin kita dito. Ay, ayan, mayroon ka ng moderator. Ang aking bibang. Bibang. Hello po. Okay. Wala akong binabanggit ng mga pangalan dito. Okay. So, natapos tayo sa Kaguluhan, Sagutan. Content, pagnanakaw. So, Mr. Number 1, sabi mo may mga full support kayo sa buong grupo nyo pagdating sa legal. Okay. Ganun pala. Kung ganun pala, pwede palang kasuhan ang lahat ng miyembro mo na nag-reaction po, nakipag-away sa ibang grupo dyan na kinukontent kami. Diba? Ibig sabihin, ang dami mo palang gagastusin sa attorney mo. Kasi lahat po kami sa kabilang dako po, kinukontent po ng miyembro mo mga reactionist. Makinig lang po. Ito ito, um, sa akin lang po ay pag-iintindi ko sa mga tao dito. Kung bawal pala mag-content sa isang tao na public influencer at gagawing magnanakaw ang ibang tao na nagko-content sa kanila. So, ibig sabihin, mga miyembro mo mismo na nagko-content sa ibang tao, pues, pwede palang sabihin magnanakaw din pala sila, di ba? Jupas, bakit mo hinide si Aoyama? Okay. So, ibig sabihin po, so if you consider yourself that other people, when other people content your very topic, and you being as a person, being an influencer, you're telling me that they are a thief? Hmm. If they are thief, then we should, the other people outside your group should consider your member also a thief. Di ba? Di ba? Tama ba ako? Tama ka, Shelly Oras. Leadership is not a position or a title. It is an action or example. Precisely, you got that right. Okay? So, kaya wag po kayong Mr. Number One ha. Magsabing, sabihin mo magnanakaw. Hindi po. Ang napakaraming magnanakaw dito ang mismong grupo mo, mga reactionist mo po, laban sa kabilang dako. Dahil walang control galing sa iyo at galing kay number 2. Okay. So, tina-translate ko lang how to become a better manager of people. How to become a better person to your member. No? Understanding, bigyan natin po ng pagmamahal, attention, pangunawa, suportahan. Malaki ka na, 1 million ka na, di ba? So, gano'n lang ba yung 30,000 na isuporta mo sa kanila para hindi na po sila maghabol at maghanap ng kaguluhan at maghanap ng makipagsagutan dyan para po maghabol ng kanilang views. Kasi panghanap buhay nila po yan. Back up hanap buhay nila yan. Hindi po tayo kailangan maging selfish dito, no? No po? So, dito tayo sa pinakahuling punto. Sinisiraan daw ang pinanggagalingan. Ay! Sinisiraan daw. Unconscious thoughts ata, Miss MC, di ko rin alam. Sorry. Tika, tanggalin ko si, sino ba yung natanggal mo dito? Kasi mas na lang po ha. Nasaan ka na? Sadali lang po guys. I-undo ko. Okay naman, hindi naman siya naka-block. Mamaya ano ko. Okay. Maladugilyo. So, ano ba sabi nito? Lisa Manakit. Nasiraan ulo si Tanda. Sayang ka lang. Baka naman po, Lisa Manakit, ikaw ay kulang sa pang-uunawa po. Yan. Kasi ang mga kulang po sa mga pang-uunawa ay, yan kaagad ang sabihin na ako'y nasiraan ng bait o pagsasalita ko. Kasi makitid ang pag-iisip ninyo. Okay. So dito po, sinisiraan daw ang pinanggagalingan. Sino ba ang sumisira po sa mga pinanggagalingan? Ilagay na natin si Lola Ligaya dito, no? Andito na si Aoyama. Aoyama, dati big fan ako niyan. Na-hide ka pala ng by accident po ni Jupas TV, Aoyama. Ayan, sorry po ha. Hinanap kita kanina. Hindi ka naman pala naka-block. Okay. So, dali mo na. Norma Carbonell, mega love shout out sa inyong lahat. At marami pa tayong itatopic, hindi lang po dito sa nakalista na to. Sabi ni Jupas TV, nagtaka nga ako. Sorry po, Aoyama, sabi ni Jupas TV. I wanna talk about it. My heart. If I stay just a little bit longer. Woo! If I stay, won't you listen to my heart? Oh, woo! Walking while watching you, Miss MC versus Miss Maria, Ma'am MC, yung i-in-applyan mo na ulam ng Coffee Cat, I love you, Miss MC, nice song. Yes! Woo! Marami pa tayong pag-uusapan. Kinig muna tayo, i-mute ko yan pag in-upload ko na to. Real talk lang po ako. Pag ayaw ko sa isang YouTuber, nagpapayaman lang. Yes! Real talk tayo. Talk about it. Informative chat topic. Hey! Nandito siya, si Lu. Ayan. Welcome sa channel ni MC. Longer. Woo! Pinoy Tube Channel, hello! Yuki Miguel, anak ka ng Muting Tabi, Elisa Managot, wala akong matutunan sa iyo. Mag-aral naman. Baby, you don't know me. Sorry po, Ayama. Sabi na, Lola Kamsi, kaya always looking yung kasi masaya kasi ganda ng music, ano po. Advice ka, Ate MC, guwapa na wala jacket ko, oy! You can... Lola Kamsi, sorry, MC pala. Maris Danda, yung kibigil, taga-team, andyan siguro si Lisa Manakit, yan. Shoutout sa inyo lahat! Sana po, nagustuhan yung topic ko. Marami pa tayong itatopic at ituturo sa mga taong hindi po alam how to manage people. Sinisiraan daw ang pinanggalingan. Dito tayo darating. Ati ka muna. Tayo muna kasi yung likod ko, guys. Thank my sky. Ati, salamat. Ati ko, MC Yakit.
In the corner, and the moment I'm walking, soil on the face across the leaves. No, I won't forget, and the way you found me.
Bet Pujihara, bigyan ng sa taas, Silly Ordas, if you are willing to learn. No one can stop you. If you can determine to learn, no one can stop you. Yes! And learning is unstoppable po yan. Makinig po ang mga leader dito. Okay. So, pinag-usapan natin ang kaguluhan, sagutan, content, pagnanakaw, which is no merit. No merit. Okay? Sinisiraan daw ang pinanggalingan. Now, balik tayo sa pagiging leader ninyo sa isang grupo na yan. Ano ang ginagawa? Sinasabi mo dyan kanina sa LS mo, Mr. Sir, na dapat ay suportahan ang pinanggalingan. Oy, sinabi mo po yan. O, kaya nga kinu-content ko ngayon, di ba? So therefore, how do you persuade your people to support what you have left behind? Tanong ko po sa iyo, Sir, how do you support your people what you have left behind? Sino makasagot dyan? Is that a deep question or is it an open-ended question? Sagot lang po. Is it an open-ended question or is that something else? So, sir, how will you support your people, your group of members to speak against it if you yourself don't stand by it? Huwag po kayo mag-delete po. Delete for like 2-3 seconds. Para in fairness po, mabasa ko rin naman at huwag niyo i-delete si Aoyama. Please lang po. Please. Kasi kung sino mag-delete, tatanggalan ko po kayo lahat ng jacket dito. Kasi ayaw ko po kayo mag-delete dito po ng mga... Bigyan po natin sila ng chance na magsalita. Si Aoyama po, hindi po masamang tao yan. Okay. Open-minded po si Aoyama. Maris Danda, Yuki Miguel, shout out. Pag sabi ni Angel Stem, pag nag-react in a smart way, sabihin na luluki, pag mag-reaction ng mga reactionist kuno, ng mga bulok, di nila sinasaway, yung mga pinuno mismo nag-i-enjoy, kuno, konsenti. So, ang tanong ko po, how do you, okay, nawawala ko sa topic, guys. Nawawala ko sa topic. Sinisiraan daw ang pinanggalingan, no? So, sinabit ko yan. Ikaw mismong leader, nagsabi dyan. Hindi ko mag-gets, no? Hindi ko mag-gets. Gusto ko mabasa ano ang sinasabi ni Aoyama kasi wala pa ako nabasa kay Aoyamang sinasabi niya. Let me read it. about you always, your side opinions, freedom of speech, unconscious lang talaga. Sorry, nagtaka din ako bakit na-hide ka. Hindi siya na-hide. Kasi kung na-hide siya, hindi siya pwede magsalita dito, no? Sino si don't know what's, tita, may galap siya tita Honey, nandito ka pala. So, dito po pag-usapan natin, sinisiraan daw ang pinanggagalingan. Sino ang sumisira sa pinanggalingan? Di ba, mismong grupo ninyo? Ang grupo Nimo, Bisaya, o ninyo, nag-umpisa po yan. Dahil sa isang reactionist na si Joel Salcido. At isang reactionist na si Kamay, kami ng Sangkay, kami ni Sangkay. Okay. So, two people. When this video was not released, okay, there was no one talk about it. But when Kamay in Sangkay posted this very video, right away, within 24 hours, right away, your own people have created a reaction against it. That's saying that you should not have blocked these people. You do not have the right to block these people. How dare you? Sabi nga, how dare you to even come to these people who was already famous because was discovered by our founder. Okay? And yet, you have the audacity to even come to them and aid them and blog them and talk to them. Who are you? So, your people, Mr. Number 2, was the very first people giving reaction to this. Listen, I'm not joking here. I'm not joking. Okay. These were the very words of your people in your group because I was there. I was there. Okay. Back to being a leader. Sinalungat niyo ba ang very objective of your project? Sinalungat niyo ba? I think you did. Sinalungat niyo eh. Because you let them go. You let your very member to speak that way. When you know it was wrong. When you know it's wrong, it's wrong. And you should discipline them. You should call them and give them love. And you should just embrace them like, hey, relax. Kung ako si Mr. Number 2, akapin ko itong si Senyora. Senyora, relax. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hindi ako magsisigaw. Ibubulong ko, Senyor, it's okay. Because these people we left behind has gotten help by other people. So you should not have to react for that. We should celebrate. We should enjoy. We should be happy for it. Okay? Ano nangyari? Law. You have contradicted your own words. You have contradicted your words, Mr. Number 2 in the group. You have contradicted your own word. So, rule number 1. Contain your people. Manage your people. Love your people. Support your people. Embrace your people. Have open communication with your people. Okay? Understand your people. Because if you do all of this above that I have mentioned, your people will never get out of the fence and fight other group to the other side so that they can have reasons to contend, to make troubles, to argue with, to speak out of line. Di po ba? Di po ba? Sabihin nyo, huwag daw siraan ang pinanggaling. Ano bang ginagawa ng grupo mo? Sinisiraan po ang mga reactionist o ang mga vloggers na pumupunta po sa lahat or whatever. Mga ginigive up na po ng grupo ninyo, iniwanan na po. So it means that lahat ng iniwanan yung grupo, that means it's free for everybody in the world to help them to go there and talk to me. And it's never none of your business, whatever. Therefore, you got to suppress your people, your group of members, to tell them to shut up or get out. Zero tolerance. Disciplining your members should be in the very first place. If you want to establish a very good charity group, you have to be disciplined person, no? Discipline. Ano nangyayari dito? This whole problem comes from your own backyard. It's not coming from the other side. It comes from here. Kasi po lahat ng panghahaka-haka, pakialam. Even in Mylin's case, sabi ng grupo nyo, give up. Balik kayo ng balik. Nung give up niya, maraming gustong tumulong pa rin kay Mylin. So, bakit nagkakagulo? Kasi ang mga tauhan mo po gustong humabol ng mga content, ang mga views. Diba? Humahabol ng content. Okay? Hindi po sila humahabol, Mr. Number 2 at Mr. Number 1, makinig po kayo. Hindi sila humahabol ng mga content, ipaglalaban mga ito. Kung sila ay binibigyan ninyo ng pansin, kung sila mga grupo, mga officials mo, mga miyembro mo ng grupo, grupo mo dyan. Million nga kayo, di ba? Anong ginagawa ng million? Mga ninja ba yan? Mga ninja ba yan? Ito lang matatanong ni MC. Mga ninja ba yan ang inyong mga miyembro dyan? Mga ninja ba yan na hindi ninyo kayang suportahan ang inyong mga sariling miyembro ng grupo na hindi na kailangan makipag-away para makipaghabulan ng mga views at subscribers? Mga ninja po ba yan? Kasi kung hindi naman po, kaya ninyo po ipaglaban ang bawat miyembro ninyo na magkaroon ng views. Okay? Yakapin ang miyembro ninyo. Unawain, mahalin, pakiusapan, makipag-usap. Because the time does not make you. You have to make the time. That is what leadership is all about. You got to make the time, not for yourself. When you are a leader, it's no longer about you. It's no longer about you. No, it's about the people you manage with. It's not about you. Regardless if you're working 8 hours. Pag ako, nag-work ako ng 18 hours, it's no longer about me. I got to manage my people. My people is important to me. That is where the predicament comes in. That is the very principles of your inner self. Tells you what should you do as being a leader for this entire group of people that follows you. Make them understand. Make them follow your very word in the way that they can understand and show them love. Support. 1 million kayo. 30,000 hindi nyo kayang ibigay sa bawat membro ninyo para sa views nila, para magkapera sila. How could you do that? Diba? 30,000 kahit na 20,000 lang. Araw-arawin natin yan. Diba? Ang laki nang maiambag ng grupo ninyo na hindi na po makipaglaban sa kaguluhan, sa sagutan, content, at pagnanakaw kuno. Wala na pong issue dyan. Think. If you know what I am talking about, you should learn this. Diba? You don't have to let your people go astray if you know how to manage your own. By talking to them, give them love, hug them, embrace them, and talk to them. Look them in the eye. Senyora, ano pang kailangan mo para huwag ka na makipag-away doon? 30,000 views kailangan mo. O sige, panawagan natin ngayong gabi na kasama na po siya number 1, si founder, si Mr. Supremo dyan. Isama natin si Supremo dyan para manawagan na bigyan ka namin ng 30,000 views tonight para po kumita ang iyong channel. At bawat isang membro ng mga reactionist dyan, ng mga official dyan, bigyan natin yan. Ito po, unity, and being unified is what the leaders should be thinking, not for themselves. Not for themselves. They got to make the time, because if you could not make the time, you don't deserve to have a group as a leader. Totoo po yan. Totoo yan. Why do I manage my two team, my own, myself alone? Because I make the time to speak with them. How are you every day? How you doing? Yes, all my group in here, they know I communicate with them on a daily basis, open communication. If you cannot afford to manage such large group of people, then you don't belong to be a leader. But if you want to take on that pressure, then take it and manage it. And forget about yourself. That's what leader is all about. Give yourself to them. Love them. Huwag mong hayaan sila makipag-away. Bigyan mo ng suporta. Walang mangyayaring gulo dito. Walang mangyayaring kaguluhan. Sagutan. Kung ito, lahat ng miyembro nila ng grupo na yan, ay binigyan po ng karapat-dapat na suporta ng 1 milyon. Ng 1 milyon. Kahit 30, 20,000. Mahirap ba yan? O siguro naman mga ninja lang yan. Kaya hindi kayo ibigay. O kaya, napaka-selfish at hindi kayo ipagsigawan na suportahan natin ito. Kasi charity vlogger tayo. Para bigyan natin ng katarungan at pagandahin natin ang ating adhikain at magiging malusog po at matatag ang ating grupo na yan. Pero wala na yan bumagsak eh. Dahil po sa leadership na yan na wala pong kaalam-alam paano po mag-manage ng tao. Paano po pakinggan ang kanilang miyembro mismo na hindi na makipag-away. Kung kailangan lang makipag-away para lumaki ang kanilang views, pues ibigay namin. Kung ako to, sabihin ko sa miyembro ko, huwag kayo makipag-away. Kung kailangan nyo lang ng views, ibigay namin ito ni number 1 at ako number 2. Ibigay namin yan. Leave them alone. Don't question. Diba? Sorry po. Siguro natakot ang kabilang grupo dito sa katalinuhan ni Marilyn Chiang, no? Sinayang nila si MC. Kasi mas marami pa ako dapat matulungan dito. Imbes, dinisregard ako. Mas marami pa ako dapat yakapin na dapat po magkaisa ang buong nasyon para po magkaisa lahat at magkaintindihan how to manage people well. Because you cannot run a business without people. Hindi mo pwedeng itakbo ang negosyo mo kung wala kang tao at hindi mo rin pwedeng itakbo ang negosyo mo kung ang tao mo nagkawatak-watak at iba ang isip. You got to mold them. You got to make sure that everybody is in unison. And you got to make sure that they love what they do and let them love you for what you have portrayed as a leader and the very objective of the purpose of what? Charity, di ba? You got to show them. You got to make every effort every day. And get out of yourself. Leave yourself alone. Manage your people. Love them. Take care of your people. So they don't go to a mess like this now. Ba? Jakitan. Jakitan, I love you. Salamat po sa inyo lahat. Sana po natuto po kayo ng konting aral dito. Last word. Sa number 1, number 2, makinig po kayo. Hindi pa huli ang lahat. Naitama ang lahat, no? Hindi pa huli. Pwede nyo pang itong sugpuin. Hindi sa pamamaraan ng pagdisiplina ng miyembro ninyo na pakipagkaguluhan, sagutan, at huwag niyo pong husgahan ang mga taong nag-content at pagnanakaw kasi po yan ay wala pong hold that against bars, okay? Non-merited issues and you cannot hold that against in court. Sa lahat ng dako ng mundo. As long as these people does not take away your video, then if it is the case, then i-prosecute nyo na po ang mismong presidente nito sa grupo niya. Alam niyo na kung sino yan. I-prosecute nyo na. Anak mo, ginamit mo. Ginamit niya mga video, ikaw din. So, how can you be stupid? Are you that stupid? Okay, so if you want to continue to have peaceful charity group, listen and listen well. Follow what I said. Love your people, support your people, leave yourself behind. Because you have 1 million of viewers or supporters. Just give them at least 10% of your subscribers to view their video every day so that you can support them, so that they can also give back to the community without having to chase, to fight other people and create havoc. And what else? Creating different content. And don't you even dare to tell other people outside that they are thief if they are going to content you because of your content. No, sir. Number 1, they are all allowed to do that by law because you are a public figure. You are a public influencer. So you have given yourself in the public. Therefore, you are allowing yourself to be content and used. Salamat po sa inyong lahat. At sana po may natutunan tayo dito. Yan. Mega love shout out sa lahat ng hindi ko nababasa dito. Salamat po. Shout out kay Chorba Ingrata de Ortez, Michelle Yapina, Andrea D, sino pa na, Jupas TV, Rizalin Suarez, Vin Michi, My Love, Myla Dugilio, at Lani Carmilotes, Santos Mix, lahat na nandito, Shelly Ortas, subukin ko dito. Yuki Miguel, good day, Jeb Cha. Ay, di ako magbabasa muna sa... dami na-delete. Hindi ko alam kung bakit na-delete sila kasi hindi ako nagbabasa. Ini Channel TV, ayan. Ang dami na-delete. Tita Honey, shout out po. Next Mendoza, Beth Fojihara, Linlin Garrido, at Mamita, Channel Bing Delphine Miguel, shout out. Team Beehive, shout out sa ating Team Beehive. Shout out po sa ating Team Banok, Team Bubulit, Team Gorlitz, Team Elite, at lahat ng ating ibang team dyan. Gomez, Maria Gomez, Bing Delphine Mix TV, hello po. Yan, salamat sa inyong suporta. Ana Binsun. Yan, Kayla Kiro TV. Thank you sa inyong lahat na pagpunta. Aoyama, Akira, Kayla Kiro TV, Yuki Miguel. Ang ganda-ganda ng pakikinig ko. Pasok-pasok yung Lisa Maris Danda. Salamat sa inyo lahat. I love you guys. At sana bukas may makikita pa tayong uling mapagtuunan ng pansin at mapag-aralan po. Mega love shout out. God bless at thank you sa inyo lahat ng support po. Thank you po. Woo! Jakitan, I love you. I love you, right? Ichi. Joel Salcino, mega love shout out. Ayaw ko bakit mahal na mahal ko to si Jakitan. Ewan ko, ayaw ko bakit. Kasi kapangalan ng kapatid ko. Morning Natividad. Good night. Parang insay good night po. Woo! Thank you sa lahat ng ating solid viewer. Miss you, Japina. I love you. Mega love sa sa iyo. Engrata Dios es Chorpa. Andrea D. Mamita. Next, Mendoza. Lani Carmelotes. Ayan. Myla Duguillo and Michi. Norma Carbonell. Ay! So excited. Santos Mex. Jacket Tan. Jewel Salcido. Love shot. Mega love shot. Kasi ako excited. Bye po.